Hello, again, part two. And yeah, basically part two, we went to the islands, and I have never seen such beautiful beaches in my entire life. I wanted to go to a place called Koh Phi Phi, which was near, well, basically the national park to Koh Phi Phi is Maya Bay Beach, and it's where the beach was filmed. And even talking about it now, I've got like goosebumps going up my arm because I've never seen such a beautiful place in my whole entire life. It was absolutely stunning. There are a lot of things wrong with it though. Phi Phi was a party island, and so it got fucking trashed. It really did get trashed of a night time, and it was just like, this is disgusting. The first couple of days, I was like, woo, partying along, obviously not trashing anything, but I started to notice some things. I started to notice how the people, I mean, there were a lot of guys really muscular, like, and there was one guy that was chatting to a girl and he was like, alright, see this, I love all of me, and I was like, oh, fuck off, you cunt. I was like, that is the most unattractive, human ego alert, like, that is the most fucking unattractive thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Bear with me, it's not a vibrator going off, it's my phone. Sorry, what I did say then was, it's not a vibrator going off, it's my phone, but I probably cut it off. Jokes are only funny if you don't have to repeat them. Anyway, and so basically Koh Phi Phi was beautiful, but as I said, I saw the beach get absolutely trashed, and it was very, very sad. It was sad to watch that. We went to Maya Bay. We went to Monkey Island, and we kayaked out. We kayaked out to Monkey Island, and they are so cute. The little monkeys, they're kind of a little bit like rats, but they were so cute, like their little eyes, and they was adorable. And it's like, you'd stood there and you'd blink, and then one would be there like looking at you, and you'd be like, oh fuck. They were so sweet, but they was fucking evil. Some of the monkeys was nasty, like some of them was so evil. There was this like German woman, she was feeding one some water out of a bottle of water, so it grabbed her hands and started drinking, and everyone was like, "Aww." And then a little baby crawled underneath and was like, for like the little drops from the monkey's mouth, and everyone was like, "Aww." And then a monkey walked behind the woman, grabbed hold of her leg, and was just like, and bit her, and she was like, "Ah!" And I was like, whoa, like, they are vicious. One of them, I was howling. One of them nicked Josh's flip-flop, but just the one flip-flop. And yeah, and actually there was a guy that had all his stuff, and it had his passport in, credit card, debit card, money, everything, his life. Plane tickets, and basically, yeah, basically Josh and he went to go and get it back, but the monkey was like, ah, and like ran after him, and everyone was like, whoa, because they are wild animals ultimately, and Josh just pumped his chest up and just walked in dead chivalrous, and I was like, Josh, and he just walked in, and I was like looking at him, and he just grabbed the bag, walked back out and gave it to this man, and it was really cool. It was like, oh, that's my boy. He done that. He faced the evil monkeys. There are a lot of things wrong with Monkey Island. Again, it sounds so bad, and I'm not viewing this as a negative way, but I tend to view things in a environmental way, because I don't like impacting anything in a bad way, and I don't like things where loads of people go to and a place gets destroyed. And Monkey Island was fucking disgusting, because the amount of litter that was there was beyond a joke. It was putrid, it was vile, and it was foul. And a lot of it is kind of, it's ultimately tourism sport, because they had pissed up people there, and people were like chasing monkeys drunk, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? One guy gave a pregnant monkey Chang, and I was like, you fucking arsehole, like, pregnant people shouldn't drink anyway, like, let alone something like 10 times smaller that's pregnant. What an absolute wanker. Thankfully, the monkey had more sense than the human, smelt the chang and threw it away. And yeah, so Koh Phi Phi Don, beautiful island, but you know in about 10 years' time it's going to be ruined by tourism, which is such a shame because it's the most beautiful beach I've ever been to. And we went snorkeling as well, and it was incredible. Also, I kind of saw how arrogant some British tourists were, which was really upsetting for me because I am quite patriotic and I don't like that to be a representation of my country. But we met some nice Brits though, you know. But there were some Brits that were really, really arrogant, and it just wasn't on. We was in the kayak, and the current was getting higher and higher and higher one day, and there was a hole in the boat, and the sea was coming up and coming into the boat, and the current was so high, it was so dangerous, and there was a lot of times in Thailand I was just like, I'm going to fucking die, because it's just so dodgy. And me and Josh were freaking out and we were screaming at each other as well. I was like, shut up! I was like, shut up! Because we was like trying to row and just stressing out at each other because he's like, go this way, go. And I'm like, no, I'm not going this way, we're going this way. And where's this way? I don't know, we just need to, you know. And being together in a relationship, you know, we was together for 30 days, a month straight. It pushes you both. But when you're in a situation like that, and he was like, what are you doing? And I, you know, to any other person, I must have looked mental, but I was reciting the Seafarer's Charm. I was like, I call holy bridie, gentle bridie, lady of sovereign, lady of sea, you know, may the waves be gracious wherever we go, you know. And he was like, what, are you praying? And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking praying because I'm scared I'm going to die. It was really frightening. It was frightening. But we're safe, we're alive. I actually created a spirit to protect us throughout the whole journey, and when we got conned by the travel agents, it made me feel a bit shit, but they actually had a Kuomintang, and I specifically made a spirit for protecting us. And, you know, a made spirit versus a fetus that's been fed power and power and power. And you have to remember, people in Thailand have so much belief in the spirits. They have guardian spirits in forests. We went jungle trekking and they had some stones that they called the guardians. And there was so much stuff, even outside like prostitution houses. The ladies were there like holding incense, like praying, talking, and then laying it down. The spirits were everywhere, and it was incredible. I can't tell you all the stuff I've done on video, and I'll probably go to part 3. But I'm going to talk about the mushroom experience I had in taking magic mushrooms. And we went to Koh Phangan, and we went to a bar of Koh Phangan that was run by the Thai mafia. I was like, yeah, let's do that. So stupid. But it's where you could have mushroom shakes and smoke a lot of weed. In the islands, actually, there are a lot of bars that you can just smoke weed. I smoked a lot of weed out in Thailand, and it was beautiful. Just sat there by the beach, you know, a pound cocktail, smoking a joint, watching the sunset. It was amazing. It was incredible, and it was beautiful, you know. But yeah, so we went out to this. By the way, drugs in Thailand, like weed, is incredibly illegal. So it was quite stupid of me in a sense to do it. And I don't, if people want to do it, they kind of do it at their own risk. I was just, you know, there were a lot of bars that were, the police were actually paid off not to go. And the police knew what was happening. Because it is very corrupt. It is a very corrupt country. It's actually made me realise, like, I think my government's corrupt, but nowhere near compared to Thailand. I still think my government's corrupt, but not compared to Thailand. Nowhere near. Be a sec. Sorry. Okay, so shrooms. So we got on this boat, which was like this shitty little wooden raft boat, a long boat, and it was like 11 at night, so we set off, and the boat was going, and you like that in the boat, and it was like, what the fuck's happening? And it was like, you looked at the waves and they were just black, and the current was going, and I was like, I'm not sure if we should have done this. And we ended up going to this part of the island where basically everything was wooden jungle shacks. And it reminded me of the beach because it was a huge hippie commune. It was full of hippies. And you had all these little bamboo bridges and bamboo huts that people were staying in. And there was this woman, and everyone called her the witch. And she had long hair coming over her face and like just walked, and she was off her head, but everyone called her the witch, and I could see why, because she was a witch. She was like a witch. She was cooking up shakes for people. All the cabin had hallucinogenic symbols on it and stuff like that. Things for like mercury and, you know, actual pentagrams. And I was like, oh, I was kind of tempted to start talking to her, but I thought she's probably in the fucking third dimension right now, or off her face she is. So anyway, we was with this couple, and this woman, we was like, let's do it. I've never done magic mushrooms before, and people say you shouldn't ever do them overnight. However, I work with flying ointment. I've worked with a lot of hallucinogenic herbs. Don't do them at night. I do rituals at night in the woods. I am comfortable with darkness. I've experimented with a lot of different plant substances, and tread the poison path in witchcraft, so it's not a problem for me, it's not an issue. And I was like, I want to experience this. This is something I want to do. And we was with an Irish couple. We're like, oh, we're going to have a little mushroom shake there. And they chugged it. They absolutely chugged this shake. And I was like, shit. I was like, guys, like, slow down on that. Like, you know, slow down, because in the past, not anymore, but in the past I've done a lot of drugs, which is really naughty. You know, any younger people watching, don't do it. Bad, but whatever, I'm not going to get into a drugs argument here, but I was, from past experience, I was like, no, like, you shouldn't just chug it, and especially knowing that it was a plant substance, I was like, stop. Because people underestimate plants so much, and they chugged it, and we was walking along, and we finally got to the bar, and the bar was out, it was on a cliff, and you could see the waves crashing against the cliff, and the dance floor was painted psychedelic. This was before the trip, do you know what I mean? So you know what kind of trip I was in for. Everything was psychedelically done. It was amazing, and they had house music as well, and I do love house music. And it was absolutely incredible. And I was just looking around like, fuck. And then about 20 minutes passed, and obviously I had my shake, but I was buying joints from the bar as well, so it was like, oh, that's fine, you know. And then Josh was like, George! And I was like, whoa, like, calm the fuck down, what's wrong? And this Irish couple were there, and the guy's there with like this cut on his head with blood, and he was like just throwing up with like spit coming out of his mouth. The girl was there like that, and I was like, what? I was like, no. And this other girl was with us like, no, it's fine, it's fine, it'll happen to you, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh, because I've never done magic mushrooms before. It's bad, I've done hallucinogenic drugs before, but never magic mushrooms. And, you know, I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, just dance, just dance. And Josh was like, how much have you drank? And the cup was like that. And I lifted the cup, and there was that much there. So I just looked at Josh and I went, here we go. Let's have liftoff, you know. And I just thought, just dance, just absolutely dance, like dance your head off, you know, think happy, positive, because I've been in situations like that before where I've been like, oh fuck, and I just think, just dance. It's coming up to 15 minutes now, so I'm going to do part 3 of Thailand and sort of close it up. But this is something, the next part is the trip. And this is something that really has just, wow, incredible. Yeah, and please stay tuned because I really want to share it with you guys because it was amazing.